Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. It's a nice, cold, chilly day out in mid-Michigan, Zone 5B, and we are here in my garden with a little fire going, and we got our propane heater on so we can show you some of the shrub haul that I got from Hirts Gardens. So the other day I talked with you a little bit about my order, and today we're going to do the unboxing. So I already took them out of the box because I didn't want to wait till this video because they definitely need to have air. They ship all of these shrubs to us in a dormant stage, so it's important if you actually purchase these in advance, know that they'll come within just a few days, and you'll have to have a place for them where they can remain dormant unless you have like a greenhouse or something like that to grow them on. So what we're going to do today is just open them up. I'll tell you a little bit about each plant, and then we're going to pot them into a little bit larger pot. Let me show you the pots. So these pots are just left over from some plants that I got this summer, and they're slightly bigger than the 4-inch pots that these came in. And the reason why I want to pot them up right now is because some of these are just hardy down to a zone 5, and I'm going to keep them in a little bit more of a protected area, such as my little greenhouse that I have here on the deck. I'll make sure that I water them every once in a while, but they definitely cannot stay out in their pot for too long, especially if it gets down to the coldest temperatures that we get here in zone 5, because it's important that if you order these shrubs and you're placing them outside, that they're at least 2 zones below your current zone. So for example, I'm in zone 5B. That means a plant needs to be hardy down to zone 3 in order for me to really believe that it will successfully winter through and get to spring if I put it in a pot outside. Okay, so let's get started. The first ones in the back that I want to show you are called Arctic Sun Dogwood. So when these all came, obviously you can see that they are in plastic, and they were all wrapped in plastic. Some of them were on their sides and some of them were standing up, but what they did was they also took some tape and they covered up the soil so that the soil didn't get all over the place. So that was really fantastic. So let me get these 3 open and we'll take a look at them. I'll have bubble wrap around them right now, and as you can see, like I explained, there's some tape around the top of these to make sure that the soil doesn't all come out during the shipping. Bubble wrap is also a nice insulator because it traps some of the air inside of it, and then the box will trap a little bit of air as well and help ensure that your plants get to you just fine. These are all so cute, you guys. Are so excited when I got these. Okay, so let's take a look at these plants one at a time now that we've got them all open. Whew, that was a little bit of a task, I'm not gonna lie. but I'm glad it's done now, and I'm very excited about having these cute plants in the middle of winter. And I will tell you, I think this one actually has 2 in it, so that's kind of amazing. I think I might have gotten a freebie here. But look how beautiful these Arctic Sun Dogwoods are. They're like a beautiful sunset. I'm going to hold them together a little bit so you can see a little bit more of that color. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm thinking about planting a couple of these in a front ditch that we have, because they really do like the water. And I'm trying to pull the tag off now. I probably should have done that before, because they actually have stapled the tag on. I guess I'm just going to do this. I'm going to take this plant out because I don't want to hurt the plant. Look at that root system. That's amazing, isn't it? So each of them still come with the Proven Winners tag, but it's definitely, some of these are definitely stapled on pretty hard. And these are deer resistant, so that's really awesome as well if I put these out in my front yard. And then I think the stems will be something that would be absolutely fantastic to be able to use in winter arrangements, or even just decorating in window boxes, which is what I tend to do more. I don't do a lot of arrangements. All right, so these dogwoods are good for sun or part shade. They're hardy all the way down to zone 4, which is why I want to transplant these and get some more soil for insulation around the roots of these plants when they're in pots. They get 3 to 4 feet wide and tall, so they're not super huge shrubs. They're a very nice size, and you prune them like all the way back to the ground every other year, or you can trim like a third of them back to the ground every year, and that just helps ensure that you get this nice bright color on the twigs every year. And they do like I said, moist soil, and they're just a beautiful shrub to have. Let me get these potted up. I do not want to have them sitting out. All right, let's take a look at our next shrub. This next one is a Viburnum, and this one is called Steady Eddie. Steady Eddie is a double file viburnum, and I have several viburnums, and I love them. This one's definitely different from some of the others, and we'll put pictures of these up. So this one says, Steady Eddie Viburnum is an improved summer snowflake with more flowers in spring and the ability to rebloom throughout summer. So that's what attracted me to it. More flower means more to enjoy. And these like to be in the sun or part shade. And they, as I said, have repeat blooming. They start in the spring and bloom a little bit more throughout summer. And they're hardy down to zone 5 up to zone 8. And they grow about 4 to 5 feet tall and wide, so it's a little bit bigger shrub. And again, because this one is only hardy down to zone 5, I really want to make sure the roots are protected. So I'm going to give this one a little bit bigger pot even than I did with the others. So this pot right here will be at least twice as wide. It'll give a good inch of soil around the outside of this to help protect it from the cold. Now, because these plants are dormant, I'm definitely going to have to pay attention to which one's in which pot. And I'm going to try to make sure that this gets planted straight up, because you can see it's at quite a angle here in the pot already. So you can see here, I'm just having to angle the roots over to the side to get this to point upwards a little bit better. It's a very funny angle growing branch here. Another good reason why I have it in a bigger pot. And all I'm using right now is Miracle-Gro. You can use whatever potting mix you like. It's just what I happen to have, and that's easy to get around my area. Next up, we have Spice Baby. Spice Baby is a Korean spice viburnum. So very much has different blooms from the viburnum that we just saw. I have not had this type of viburnum before, but I love the blooms on it and I love the scent of it. It has a spicy, sweet perfume in spring, and it will tolerate light shade. So it's best in sun, and then it will take part shade. Again, it's fragrant. It has a nice fall color, as most viburnums do. And this one grows to 3.5 to 5 feet tall and wide. So it does like moist, well-drained soil, which so many plants do. But this one has a medium deer resistance, which is also nice. Oh, and in terms of hardiness zone, this one is hardy down to zone 4. So we're just going to use this pot that we used on the other zone 4 hardy plants. All of these were well watered before they were shipped. That can also help to keep plants from experiencing cold damage unless it is for an extended period of time. So one thing plants don't like is being really cold and really wet. So I am actually, after I put this soil in, not doing anything to water them in, because they are, as I said, nice and moist already. So excited about these. This is the first time I've actually gotten plants that were dormant this time of year, other than bare root trees or bare root shrubs. Although those usually still even don't come to me until maybe March, because they're usually shipped about the right time for planting in our area. All right, next up, let's grab these two. Little Lime Punch, you guys. How exciting is that? All right, let's see if I can clip these tags off. There, that was a lot easier than wrestling with the staples. Sometimes we get smarter with experience, right? So this Little Lime Punch hydrangea is one that I don't have, and I've heard really good things about it because it has such beautiful and colorful panicles. So this one is best in the sun, as most panicle hydrangeas are. They will tolerate some part shade. They just won't be quite as large or floriferous as they would be in the sun. And this one of the reasons people like it is it only gets 3 to 5 feet tall and wide, and it is hardy down to zone 3 up to zone 8. It does not have very good deer resistance though, as most hydrangeas are looked at as deer candy, I think. So this one probably doesn't really need repotting, but I'm going to do it anyways because you never know how things are going to get in the spring. Stuff gets really busy and you might not be able to get to planting something before you want to. So this is just going to give this one a little bit more protection over the winter, and also going to give me kind of a window of wiggle room to be able to get this into another pot or plant it into the ground. And these look like these have really nice root balls also. So just as a reminder, if you didn't see my other video where I talked about how much I paid for these or where I got them, these are from Hirts Garden, Hirts. And I mail ordered them. Hirts is located in Ohio. And they have a really good selection of different plants, house plants, trees, or do they have trees? I'm not sure. I think they just have shrubs. And then they have perennials as well as annuals. And I've never noticed that they had these perennial shrubs before in this size, but I thought this was a really good deal, because they were $9.99 a piece, but then they were having a winter sale, and the winter sale made them $7.99 a piece. And then in addition to that, I had a coupon code, Welcome to Hirts, that I believe took like 15% off, and so it all ended up being a really good deal. Like, I might have paid $10 for each of these. Now sometimes I can get a gallon size perennial at the end of the season for maybe $12 to $14 for a shrub like this, but you never know what varieties they're going to have. So if you've been looking for a certain variety and you're not sure you'll be able to get it at your nursery, and they're really an expensive thing, they have quite a few different types to choose from, and I think that's really great. Let me make sure I get these tags on these before I forget, because boy, do all of these look alike when they're dormant. All right, well, let's talk about another hydrangea. This is another panicle hydrangea. This one's more of a lace cap type. This is the firelight tidbit. This is not a lace cap type. This is a regular old panicle and is beautiful. I have the firelight. I got that one last year and I really liked it, but they grow much larger, like a 6 to 8 foot range. This one is the firelight tidbit, and I believe it's 3 to 5 feet, but let's take a look at the tag. All right, even smaller than that. 2 to 3 feet tall and 3 feet wide. So a great one to fit into any part of your garden. And it's hardy down to zone 3. And just like other panicle hydrangeas, like I said, it likes sun but will tolerate the part shade. And one of the reasons why people love this is because of the size of it. It's nice and small, and it has cream colored flowers that come out in the early summer, and then they turn a delicious shade of pink that lasts through frost, which is true. They have a really beautiful color to them, and they do bloom really full. I actually got 2 of those, so we'll pop both of them up. Nope, I didn't get 2 of them. This is the quickfire fab, you guys. Quickfire fab. This one is different from any of the other ones that I told you about so far. We'll talk about this one. Okay, so this one is super cute. This is the quickfire fab. The reason why people like this one is because it fires up real quick. It is it combines big blooms, glorious color, and strong stems for a truly stunning flowering shrub. And again, one of the things people like about this is it gets its color rather quickly, and it is a larger one though. It is 6 to 8 feet tall and 5 to 6 feet wide, and it takes sun or part shade similar to all of the other panicle hydrangeas we've just talked about, and it's hardy down to zone 3 to zone 8. Some of these I'm actually thinking about growing in pots rather than in the ground. Because of their hardiness, that makes it really nice. For me, being in a zone 5 with them being hardy down to a zone 3, it's something I can overwinter, and they can tolerate the snow and rain that we get throughout the winter. All right, our final hydrangea for today is going to be this Invincible Mini mauvet. And this one is truly mini. This is a smooth hydrangea, so it's a hydrangea arborescens, and it is good in sun or part shade. And it is hardy only down to zone 4. And it's small. It grows 2.5 feet tall to 3 feet tall and wide. And this is considered a native plant. You can see this one actually still has some leaves on it. But this one also has low deer resistance, just like all of the other hydrangeas as well. And it does like to have soil. It likes it well drained. It doesn't like it boggy, but it does enjoy plenty of water. And this one is an Annabelle type hydrangea, so it is considered a cultivar of a native plant. Since this is just hardy to a zone 4 and it's rather small, I'm going to give it some extra room to grow its roots and to have a little extra insulation and protection from the cold. The color on this one is absolutely beautiful, and I'm really excited to have it in my garden. I'm thinking about where I'm going to put it. I do think this one is actually going to go in the ground, but we'll talk more about where I'm going to place things as the season begins and we start planting. Okay, next up we have what is called a haskap. And that's very much a bush that is like a blueberry, sort of in flavor. It looks a little bit like a blueberry. It's a little bit more elongated, and it's considered a superfruit. This is Yesberry Solo, and I have been looking for these for a while for my garden. And one of the drawbacks that has prevented me from buying them is because I can't find them locally, and all of the ones that I see online are very small plants, and then they're like $20 to $30 each, and you have to have 2 of them to be able to pollinate. But the coolest thing about this one is it's called Yesberry Solo because it's self-pollinating. I haven't heard about that, but that's awesome because that means that you only need 1. I did get 2 anyways, just because I was so excited about it. These get 5 to 6 feet tall and wide. These are going to be great container plants because I don't necessarily want to put them someplace where the deer could get to them because they would probably eat them. It's good for home gardens. They're hardy down to zone 3, which means that you can grow these in so many places. And again, I can grow them in a container, which is really cool. And they do bloom in spring, and then they put the fruit on during summer. It's interesting, I can actually see on the tips of this plant some little bit of green leaves on it. It has been unseasonably warm here in Michigan until the last couple of days. Alright guys, our final shrub of the day right here, and it's an evergreen. So very excited about being able to find an evergreen at this price as well. And this is a juniper. It is called Gold Cone Juniper, and it grows nice and narrow. And the thing that's nice about junipers is they can handle all sorts of drought. And this one is just hardy to zone 5 through zone 7. Just being careful here because there is a staple. So because this one is a zone 5, I also want to put this into a pot that has a little bit extra space in it. Junipers definitely like well-drained soil. They do very well in drought. They are very deer resistant, so they are an excellent evergreen for any part of your yard. Let's talk a little bit about how big these get. So this one just gets 3 to 5 feet tall and 1 to 2 feet wide, which is also one of the reasons why I liked it, because it's a more compact evergreen. And those can be few and far between, but also because just look at the beautiful evergreen foliage on this. So pretty. Now this one happens to be growing a little bit at an angle, similar to that other plant that I showed you. And it feels a little bit root bound as well. Let's see what we got. Whew, look at that. So I'm going to try to straighten this up a little bit in the pot. What I might need to do with this one is actually clip off part of it so that I just get this more upright habit, but we'll see how it grows after I get it kind of straightened out here. It might do just fine. Alright guys, well that's a wrap. This is our haul in the middle of winter time, and I couldn't be happier. I think they all look really good in their new pots. They looked a little bit overwatered when they came, but again, they want to make sure that they're well watered on their way in case there's a delay. So these guys are good to go. I'm going to put a couple of them in my outdoor greenhouse just to protect them because they're only hardy down to zone 5, like I said. But otherwise, the rest of them are just going to stay out here and enjoy the winter until it's spring to warm up and bud out. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you saw something that you liked and got some new ideas about plants that you might enjoy. We'll see you next time. Bye.